You're a mean, despicable old woman, Lizzie Birdsworth, and I hope you rot in hell when your time comes.
Oh, Lizzie!
Somehow you've stashed the money away and you won't tell him where it is. So he figures he's going to spring you out of here and then bash it out of you.
No, I keep telling you I don't know anything about it. Now, why don't you just leave me alone? You're a worm, Doreen Anderson, a low, miserable worm.
But I only did it because I didn't want you to go away. You're the only friend I got, Lynn.
Yeah, well, you haven't got any friends now. I'm through with you.
And my kids too.
They're better off without you. So go away and leave us alone.
Hello there and welcome to the video. My name's SerenitySoloREACTS and here we are with Prisoner Cell Block H episode 42. Now I just want to start by saying this: if I go quiet for 5 minutes it's because the bin men's turned up, it's bin day, they make a hell of a lot of racket, so I do apologise if I do go quiet for 5 minutes. I do normally talk more in these shows, as you know. I think it's because I'm more comfortable with this show than I am some of the others, and that's why I feel like I can. You know, just like real life, speaking to other people. This disc is a PG, so I'm not expecting much. The bleeps didn't last as long as I thought, with Irene, I think it was, who had the quickest release and back to prison ever in the episode so far. Is someone going to get sent in to get, what's her name, who played Irene in Home and Away? Is someone going to get sent in to get her? I'm going to think they are. I don't know if they're going to succeed, but I'm going to think they are. They really want that money. But yes, if you've subscribed to me so far, thank you ever so much. I really do appreciate it. You're helping me out, you're helping the channel out, you're helping my mental health out. Also on Dailymotion as well. If you followed there, I really appreciate that too. Because Australians can only see this on Dailymotion, I'm afraid. It got blocked for you on YouTube. This cannot get monetized on YouTube, so if they're running ads, I did ask this in the last episode I think. If they're running ads, please let me know, and how many if they are. I'd really like to know that. And also to my Patreon members who get exclusive shows, there'll be in a little box here what they get. It should be 8 per weeknight now, going up to 12 at some point this year. As well as I'm thinking of doing a long running day where Dallas and Murder She Wrote will be on that page, on that day. I don't know what day it'll be yet, but there is a third day to come, and also Patreon choice and commissions from Buy Me a Coffee. They also get ad-free and uncensored shows to all my YouTube and Dailymotion shows. I don't know what's going on for me today, I'm so sorry, my bloody voice is not working again. So they'll be unblurred, uncensored, unbleeped, because it is you that is bringing the content to me to allow me to bring the content straight back to you. Thank you all ever so much, I love you lots no matter what tier you are. So with that, let's get on with the video.
You'll be sorry. You're being a very foolish girl.
So when I go like that means the bin men's here and I have to shut up. I forgot they had male officers. God, they got male officers. Even though it's more like Dana.
Jeez, we've had it. Come on.
They didn't hit her. Fletch did marvellously there. Well done, Fletch. Why? The tyres!
Yeah, you all right? Can you get up? Get Dr. Miller, quick!
Are they going to blame her for trying to escape? You know, they don't know what happened. Don't know what that heartbeat is after the clicks. Not that one.
He seemed all right, then he tried to get up and just fell back unconscious.
Hold that, what do you think?
Take Martin inside and phone the police.
You all right, Jim?
Yeah. I'm fine. Just a bit groggy, that's all.
Concussion?
Now, don't try and get up. We'll get a stretcher.
Stretcher, you gotta be joking.
I'm all right.
Should he be sent home for the day?
Where do you think you're going? Back to work. No way. At least not until I've given you a complete examination.
I told you I'm all right.
Mr. Fletcher,
You heard what the doctor said.
Yes, ma'am.
He still doesn't like being ruled by a woman, though.
But all happened so quickly. Harry Martin turned up wanting to see Joyce again.
Didn't he see his wife earlier this morning?
Yes, he did.
Why was he permitted a second visit on the same day?
Oh, she can't talk.
No idea, Mrs. Davidson.
Who permitted this visit?
Well, it was, Jim Fletcher, I think. Well, he was at the desk anyway.
I see. Well, we'll sort that one out later. Go on.
Well, Jim Fletcher told me to take Joyce into the garden. Well, I saw this delivery truck standing in the loading bay, but I didn't think anything of it. Suddenly, out of the blue, I heard Jim yelling. I turned around to find this delivery truck man about to hit me. When he came face to face with me, he panicked, I suppose, and just managed to push me over. Then he and Harry Martin made a grab for Joyce and started dragging her towards the truck. Well, I grabbed Harry and we all fell in a heap.
Are you saying that Joyce Martin wasn't attempting to escape?
On the contrary,
Oh, well.
she was being abducted.
Why? All right,
I
what
was
happened
wrong.
then?
Well, the two men left Joyce and ran towards the truck. Well, Jim tried to stop them. They were too much for him and just knocked him down. The truck took off through the gates. Guard fired a couple of shots, but it was nothing much any of us could do.
Did he hit anyone?
No, I don't think so.
Well, there's going to be a lot of explaining to do when the police arrive.
And the VJ.
I better let Jim Fletcher's family know of his condition. No, don't go, Meg. Sit there. Take it easy for a while.
Yeah, shouldn't she be checked over as well for shock?
Mrs. Leela Fletcher, this is Erica Davidson speaking. Mrs. Davidson from the Wentworth Detention Centre. I'm afraid I have some rather bad news for you, Mrs.
Excuse
Fletcher.
me. Don't say it like that.
Your husband has been hurt. He has a severe head wound and may need hospitalization. Oh. Oh, I see. No, I didn't realize that.
Not together?
Nevertheless, perhaps you would like him to ring you. No, not at all. I'm sorry to have bothered you. Goodbye.
Well, what's wrong?
Oh, nothing wrong. Apparently the Fletchers are separated. It's just that she sounded so... not bitter.
Distant?
Disinterested.
Kind of.
Well, there are no immediate signs of concussion.
Good. I told you I was all right.
However, I do advise x-rays for possible fractures.
Look, you said yourself there was no signs of concussion. I've taken worse than that in my life.
No, what I said was there are no immediate signs. You're unconscious for several minutes. You may not be as tough as you think, you know.
What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, he's not going to like that.
Nothing, I was joking.
Yeah, well, I don't find jokes like that very funny.
I'm sorry. However, that doesn't alter what I said about x-rays. You can never really be sure what internal damage has been done.
No way.
Mr. Fletcher, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. If you don't have those x-rays, I shall have to declare you unfit for duty.
All right, I'll have one.
Good. I'll drive you to the hospital myself, make sure you do.
Well, I should have realised he meant immediately,
And
but
then
I
they
didn't.
grabbed me and started taking me towards the truck. Oh, good, I thought I've really had it this time. Then Mrs. Jackson did a flying tackle like nothing on earth. You should have seen it. Down they went. And then Fletch starts building up towards the truck, but they laid into him good and proper. He ends up on the ground. Smack on his head he was.
I hope they didn't hurt him too bad.
Oh, I don't know. There was a lot of blood.
Oh, I wish I'd been there. I always miss out on all the excitement.
Oh, you'd bloody keel over with fright if something like that happened to you.
Do you think your husband got a bullet through his guts?
Oh, yes, you silly old bag. That'd make you real happy, wouldn't it? A few dead bodies lying all over the place and you'd think that was real good.
Still should have tried the
Oh,
tyres.
mind your own business.
How'd you like a couple of your teeth loosened?
That fixed her.
What's all that about?
Oh, I don't know. She's been acting a bit strange lately. Do you think they'll try it again?
Oh, I didn't really think they'd try it the first time.
Look, I told you they'd get rough.
Yeah. They must be real desperate. Desperate to get their hands on all that money.
Well, they got a fat chance now. I'll never tell them where it's hid. Never.
See, the problem is every time someone new comes in now, I'm just going to
How are you
expect
feeling,
it.
Mr. Fletcher?
I'm
For
fine.
them?
Absolutely nothing wrong with
her?
me. Right, Doctor? I'm taking him for x-rays just to make sure.
Good. I think you should take a couple of days off. Give yourself time to recover.
No need for time off, but thanks anyway, Mrs. Davidson.
Well, we'll see. You will let me know the results of the x-rays.
Yes, of course.
I can say it's only been
Mr.
there a
Fletcher,
day.
I spoke to your wife earlier.
My wife?
Yes, I mentioned to her that you'd been hurt and would probably need hospitalization. I really think you should contact her, let her know you're all right.
You had no right to talk to my wife without my knowledge. And I'll thank you never to do that again.
He's a very difficult guy to work with.
Oh, Lizzie, come along, hurry up.
Maybe they should have looked at the next of kin. You had to put that down.
I was wondering if I could have a word with the governor for a moment, Mrs. Jackson. It's very important.
Not now, Lizzie. Now off to bed.
Oh, please, Mrs. Jackson. I just want to have a little word in her ear.
I'm afraid you'll have to wait for the proper time like everyone else around here.
Oh, be a sport, Mrs. Jackson. Can't you just tell her that I want to see her?
Look, Lizzie, I don't even know if the governor's still in the prison.
It's very, very urgent.
That's the point.
What's the matter?
I've got some secret information that I think the governor might like to hear.
If the governor's not there, and the deputy's not there, who's running the
You
prison?
wait back in the cell. I'll see if the governor can speak to you before lights out.
Thank you, Mrs. Jackson.
It's got a lag.
Excuse me, Mrs. Davidson. Could you spare a moment before you leave? Lizzie would like to see you.
I'll see her in the morning.
Well, she was quite adamant she wanted to see you right away.
And what about?
Well, I don't know. She said it was urgent.
I'm sure it can wait till the morning.
She said she had some information for you.
Information about what?
Well, I don't know, but I don't think it's one of her tricks. She sounded really serious.
All right, then.
Really? What's her to lag in the cell?
You've gone and taken all the coffee, you old bugger.
Never touched nothing.
This was half full last night, and look at it now. Well, you'd take anything that wasn't nailed down. God, you're a pain in the ass, Lizzie.
Well, Lizzie, what's so important it can't wait till morning?
It was me who took 'em, Mrs. Davidson.
Took what?
Them tablets out of the doctor's surgery.
You mean the bottle of Valium?
That's right. Lynn didn't take 'em.
Well, why didn't you own up before?
Couldn't stand the thought of the pound, Mrs. Davidson. All them mice running over me feet at night.
Really?
And,
That's
well,
health and
it'd
safety.
kill me.
Oh, don't talk nonsense, Lizzie. Besides, you know very well a woman of your age and health would never be put into solitary confinement.
I thought you'd be so mad at me you'd throw me in anyway.
Oh, what rubbish. Mrs. Jackson, release Lynn from solitary. Oh, and let the rest of the staff know that all Lizzie's privileges have been stopped until further notice.
Again?
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
Doreen, what do you know about this?
Oh, nothing, Mrs. Davidson. This is the first I've heard of it just then. Honest.
Lizzie, I'll see you in my office in the morning.
Yes, Miss Davidson.
What did you own up for?
What do you think?
I don't know. It looks as though everything's going to be all right because Lynn's coming back.
No thanks to you. All this mess is your bloody fault.
I thought you were going to
anyway.
lag. Jim? Oh, Jim?
I'm serious, Jim.
Hey.
You shouldn't be drinking.
Yeah, what did I tell you? No fractures, no concussion, nothing.
All the x-rays proved is that you haven't got any fractures. You could still have delayed concussion, in which case alcohol is only going to make it worse.
Can you
Thanks
see
for your
concussion
concern,
through an
Doctor. I think I
X-
can look after myself. Now, what are you going to have?
That's not the point.
Look, Doc, I think I deserve a drink
Hit it in
after
the head.
today, don't you? Now,
I've
you
had
gonna
it.
join me or not? I mean, it's up to you.
Okay, I'll have a beer.
Right, a beer and a double scotch, thanks.
Jim,
Yeah, make that a single. Just ice, thanks.
I don't say I didn't warn you.
Now, come off it, Greg. I mean, I survived the army. I mean, if I can survive Vietnam, I can survive anything.
You're in Vietnam.
Yeah.
What was it like?
I would say, these,
Terrific.
was he campaigning against it?
Did you see any action?
Yeah, you bet your life I did.
Were you ever wounded?
Yep.
What happened?
That nosy bugger.
Well, we were ambushed. Nobody's fault, really. Just one of those things. One minute we're on routine patrol, next minute they're all around us. I was one of the first hit. I was one of the lucky ones. Some of the poor blokes didn't stand a chance.
How did he get out?
Has he got
By
PTSD?
helicopter. Because we had to wait till nightfall, so we just dug in. I mean, we didn't literally dig in, we just grabbed the bodies and piled them up around us like sandbags, theirs and ours. Then we called up air support. And the bloody noise. And the flies. Didn't think I'd ever get out of there.
Jim?
Is that the secret that
You're
Joyce
right.
has forgot?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. You are such a slow drinker? Come on, you're in the chair.
You've been cleared, Lynn. You can go back to your dormitory.
That's the point. She's got a toilet there. Where's the toilet in the cells? The normal cells? I've seen one. How about if they need a pee in the
Who
night?
did it? I'm not sure.
I still don't see why you told the screws anything. Whether you done it or not, you never tell them nothing.
Yeah. You're pretty good at keeping your mouth shut, aren't you, Doreen?
Well, confessing to the screws is just the same as sucking up to them. They think they got you in the palm of their
Is it?
hand when you tell them something you shouldn't.
I never told them nothing.
Basically
They
lagging
think
on
they
yourself.
know the truth, but they don't.
You mean you lied to them?
Of course I did.
But why? No one's going to give you no medal for doing something like that.
I did it for Lynn. No one else was going to help her.
Yeah, well, I was going to do something. I've been thinking all day about what I should do.
Well, you've done enough. Poor little kid. She hasn't had a bleeding chance since the first moment she came in here. And you haven't been much help.
Well, you did laugh.
What are you on about?
When she had a
Lynn and me
arm
are
in the
real
chest
good friends.
and-
Yeah, that's why you framed her. Because you wanted to keep her in here. Because you were lonely without your old mad mate. Weren't you, Doreen?
Don't you say nothing against Frankie. She had more guts than the lot of you put together.
See, she's got that paranoia now, though.
Coffee, Lynn?
But who did it?
No.
Was it all right in the pound? Wasn't too dark, was it?
Go away, Doreen.
I'm real sorry, you know, about what happened. Lynn?
Oh, leave her alone, Doreen. You've caused enough trouble.
Me?
Stay steady.
Do you want to know who done you in, Lynn? It was Lizzie. It was Lizzie what put those letters in your bag and the tablets in your bed. It was Lizzie who framed
It's
you.
even worse.
Is that true? You horrible old woman, what did you do that for? Didn't you think what had happened to me? I lost my job at the nursery because of you. God, I had a chance to get out of this place and you nearly went and loused it up for good. You're a mean, despicable old woman, Lizzie Birdsworth, and I hope you rot in hell when your time comes.
Poor Lizzie. Doreen needs a pee. Come on, step in.
I don't understand. How could you do such a thing, Lizzie? I've never hurt you once in all the time I've been in here.
What a cow.
Lynn? Lynn?
See, if she cared that much about her, she'd want to see her out, she'd want to see her happy. How's B going to feel if she has to beat him in?
Whole group of us. Can't remember its name. Anyway, this little girl came up to us. She can't have been much more than about 9 years old. big smile all over her face. She offered us all some water. Well, I didn't take that much notice of her to start with. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw her pull a grenade out of her pocket. Well, I didn't have time to think, you see. I just pulled my gun and I shot her.
That'd give me PTSD.
Through the throat. Bullet went straight through.
Could have made it quick, could you?
Took half a neck with it. She just stood there staring at me. Eyes wide open, just looking at me.
But it wasn't a grenade?
Then she fell down. I ran over to her. Prized her fingers open to get the grenade. It was a rock. Is that true? Do you think I'd lie about something like that?
I don't like that story.
And all for what? For nothing. Nobody gives a damn anymore. No one could care less.
That's really brought down the mood.
What sort of injuries did he get? Why do you want to know? Just curious. Oh, you bloody doctors, you're all the same. Prying and poking around all the time.
Sorry, I didn't mean to pry.
That's psychiatrist.
If you're insinuating that there's something wrong with me, you're mistaken.
Insinuating anything. I was just curious, that's all.
All right, yeah. Look, I'm just a bit edgy, all right? I'll see you later.
I'll drive you home.
No.
I insist.
No, I'm not going home. I'm going to a friend's place.
I'd drive you there, then.
All right?
See, you don't know if it's a real gun, not a real gun, at first glance a grenade or not a grenade. You know, if you're just quickly glancing in that situation. It's still a sad story. Still didn't like it. But I know it would have happened in real life.
Lena?
Not in this, not him.
Lena!
What the hell do you want?
Open the door.
Go away and leave me alone.
I want to see my kids.
They're in bed.
Open the door, I'll break it down.
You try anything, I'll call the police.
Lose your job.
They're my kids too.
They're better off without you. So go away and leave us alone.
What did he do, though? Or did she do? Sorry, I don't mean to put the blame squarely on him. For them to split up. I guess it was to do with his PTSD.
What are you doing here, Lizzie? Didn't you hear the work bill?
I'm waiting to see the governor.
What for?
It's about them pills that were stolen from the dock.
Oh, don't tell me you took them.
No, but I told Mrs. Davidson I did.
Why?
I couldn't stand Linny being in solitary any longer.
Look, if she was stupid enough to take the bloody things, then that's her lookout.
She didn't take them.
Then who
Gonna tell her?
Oh, you know how it is, Mon. You've been in here long enough. A girl gets fond of another one and she doesn't want her to leave, so she messes up her parole.
Bloody Doreen. That's why she's been onto you, isn't it? Because you know. Well, I'll fix her.
Oh, no, don't, Mon. Don't get her into any more trouble. I'll be all right. Sometimes pays to have a weak ticker. They can't chuck you into solitary.
Yeah, but Lizzie, they could stop your privileges, take away your fags.
Oh, I'll manage.
She should be a non-smoker by
You
now.
won't have to. I'll keep you supplied with fags as long as I'm in here.
Oh, thank you, Mon.
2 weeks.
No worries.
Wow. If she loses it for a month, she's not gonna
Well.
get much payback.
Sarah of the pan, eh?
Uh-huh. They let me out last night.
And so Lizzie told me.
Lizzie.
Pity about her taking the rap, isn't it?
She deserves everything she's got coming to her.
There's a rumour flying around the prison it wasn't Lizzie.
But she confessed to it. She told the governor it was her.
Yeah, but Lizzie's a bit of a mental case, you know. She'd do a stupid thing like that.
If it wasn't Lizzie, then who was it?
Well, come on, Lynn, we've got to do some gardening.
Who was it, Monica?
See you later, I've got to go.
See that sly little worm slithering down the corridor?
Doreen?
Mm-hmm.
You mean you think it was Doreen? But that's impossible. Doreen wouldn't do anything to hurt me. She's my friend.
Which is all the more reason why she wouldn't want to see you leaving the prison.
Oh, I don't believe you. It was Lizzie all the time.
Oh, geez, you're a stupid little fool, Warner. No wonder they call you Wonk. Now, why would a mental case like Lizzie want to frame a fly like you? I mean, what has she got to gain by it?
I don't know why Lizzie did it.
OK, you don't believe me. Why don't you go and ask Doreen for yourself?
All right, I will.
She's going to stab her with a fork.
Yeah, but you may be in for a bit of a shock.
Yep, I'm negative. Every single bit of that. Oof. That was kind of second-hand lagging.
Good morning.
Well?
Well, what?
Did you do it?
Do what?
Frame me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, don't act so stupid, Doreen. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I wouldn't do anything to hurt you. You know that.
What about keeping me in prison? Would you do that? Did you frame me just to keep me in here?
No, of course I didn't.
Listen, you get up from there and look me in the face. Did you or did you not frame me?
She's going to slap her.
Yeah, I done it. But I had a real good reason, though.
Oh, yeah? What?
There's no good reason for doing this.
You're a worm, Doreen Anderson, a low, miserable worm.
You're...
But I only did it because I didn't want you to go away. You're the only friend I got, Lynn.
Yeah, well, you haven't got any friends now. I'm through with you.
Oh, don't say that. Oh, please, Lynn, I need you. I had no real friends except you and Frankie.
You did.
Oh, Lynn, I love you. I want you to stay here with me. Please don't be mad at me.
Bugger off, worm!
No sympathy for her at all. If you love someone, you let them go. I had to do it once. It hurts. But especially if I don't feel the same way. She's going to try to hurt herself. Go wash your face, Doreen. Infections.
Why was Harry Martin allowed a second visit when you knew full well he'd been to the prison earlier that day?
You did it,
about the first visit.
Enrica.
All you had to do was check the book. That's standard procedure, Mr. Fletcher.
Yes, I'm sorry, ma'am. It won't happen again.
I'm afraid all this will have to go down in my report on the matter.
I understand.
I'm pleased to see you're well enough to come back to work.
Does she just want rid of him? What, an
Dr.
all-female
Miller
prison
says
again?
your x-rays are fine.
Yes, everything's satisfactory. Thank you, Mrs. Davidson.
I shall be questioning Joyce Martin later this afternoon. I will require you to be there.
Yes, of course. Will that be all?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
He's got to have the respect of the women for this, surely. And what him and Meg did was fairly heroic.
Hey, B, taking up a collection. Bags for Lizzie.
Why can't she get her own?
Because Mrs. Davidson stopped all her privileges. She owned up to taking those Valium.
Lizzie, why?
You know, she's covering for Doreen.
Oh, yeah. Well, let Doreen get her fags.
Oh, get a load of her. She's got 150 grand stashed away and she can't even part with a packet of fags.
Yeah, you heard.
Packet? I thought she would just met like 5 or 10.
Hey, I suppose these fags are for Lizzie.
Of course.
Yeah, well, make sure you don't take them when you get out.
No worries.
Will you shut up that bloody noise?
What's wrong with you?
No, nothing. What do you reckon's the first thing you'll do when you get out?
Dunno. Depends if I sell the shop.
No, you will. What are you going to do with all that money, as if I didn't know?
Well, like I
Hide
was
it
saying to
from
Lizzie,
Fred.
I reckon Fred and me will take a trip to America. Have a look at Disneyland.
Disneyland?
Well, what's wrong with that?
Oh, good, it's true. You spend all these months cooped up in here and your idea of a good time when you get out is to take hubby to Disneyland.
Well, look, it's my money and I'll spend it my way.
What a waste.
What about you, B? Got any money tucked away?
No. I got nothing. Well, I need money stuck in here anyway. And when I get out, they'll be handing me the old age pension.
You reckon you'll be in here that long?
Can you claim the pension if you've been in prison all that time?
You know, with what I got, I reckon I could buy a castle in Spain.
Is it not run on
Why not?
national insurance over
Because
there?
your hubby and
Or
his
even back
mates seem
then?
real keen to take that loot. They'll be waiting for you the day you get out of prison.
Yeah, look, why don't you dob them into the cops? That way the police will look after them while you get out of the country.
Why is
Well, that's a really good idea.
why is this
Nah,
flagging
do that.
any different?
First thing Harry would do is tell the pigs I'm the only one who knows where the loot is.
So what? Oh, you can't prove anything.
Oh, yeah? What happens when I get out? Wouldn't be able to move for D's. They'd follow me everywhere, even to the loo.
A year?
Jesus, I hope
Is
you've
it a
got
year?
that money well hidden, Joyce. I mean, if it was my old man looking for it, he would have torn the neighbourhood apart by now.
Yeah. You got a point there.
So I take it Jean's got out of it then, 'cause she gets mentioned in the show, but she's not in it no more. I'm not complaining.
Yes, Charles. Well, what seems to be the problem?
You.
Me?
You're turning into a do-gooder, Steve, and business is suffering because of it.
To why I picked up a conveyancing job this morning.
I suppose it's for someone in that prison.
And what if it is? It's still easy money.
You seem to be spending all your time there lately, Steve.
Yes?
Jennifer Collins to see you, Mr. Wilson.
Oh, good. Send her in then, will you? Thank you.
Is that someone else
Yes,
who's
Charles.
going in?
Did you want to talk to me about something?
Oh, no. No.
Well, well, well. The lovely Jennifer Collins.
We're talking of a halfway house,
Oh, I see it after years and years of law school. You finally made it to company court.
I've got the documents for the sale of Monica Ferguson's shop.
Good.
When I found out it was Steve Wilson who was acting for the vendor, I couldn't resist the temptation to come and see you.
Now, before anything else is discussed, there is one really important question I have to ask you.
Well, I'm afraid I left the Ferguson file on my desk.
Are you married?
What?
No, I'm not.
Why?
Good. Then I'm going to take you to lunch, and we'll talk about college days and happier times.
I thought you left the cannon.
No, right now.
No.
Yes. Do you have anything else better to do?
No, I haven't.
Good. Oh, Charles. Charles, this is Jennifer Collins. Jennifer, Charles Baldwin, my partner.
How do you do?
You probably know Jennifer's father, David Collins, the well-known barrister?
Yes, of course I know him. Indeed I do. A wonderful man. It's a great pleasure to meet you, Miss Collins.
Jenny and I are having some lunch together, Charles.
Steve, I want to have a word with you. It's very important.
Yes, when I get back, if you don't mind. Thanks, Charles.
Took down the business.
I know that's marvellous.
Or dissolving it.
Sounds lovely.
Hey, Molly,
See, he must have built a name for himself, huh?
suppose you were in my shoes.
Yeah?
Where would you hide a large amount of money?
Dunno. Probably put in a suitcase with 3 locks in it. Stick it in one of them railway lockers.
And that is the first place they'd look for a dummy.
Well, that's the way they do it in the movies.
Martin, you're wanted in the governor's office straight away.
See, I wouldn't be seeing no visitors if I were her.
Sure glad I'm not in her shoes right now.
Joyce, do you have any idea at all why your husband would try to force you out of the prison?
No, I don't, Mrs. Davidson.
He went to great pains to set it up. There must have been a reason.
Maybe he missed me, wanted me back home.
Come on now, Martin. You're no Helena Troy.
And what about you, Joyce? Don't you want to be back home?
They got all the gen on me. I'd be picked up again in no time, then I'd really be stuck in here.
Oh, come on, Martin. What's the real reason?
Did you have any idea your husband would attempt such a thing?
No. Yeah, well, he did threaten to come back and get me out, but I didn't believe him.
Yeah, but why? Why does he want you out of here?
I don't know.
Well, if we can't find a reason for kidnapping,
See, you could have
we
said...
must presume it was an attempted escape.
Oh, bleeding
That's
hell
why
it
she asked
was.
Meg
You know
to
the
stay.
penalties for attempted escape, don't you,
It
Martin?
was his idea, not mine. You can't get me for that.
Harry Martin came to see you twice on the same day, is that correct?
Yes.
Well, I suggest the first time was to arrange the time and place of an escape. The second was to put it into action.
That's not true.
You're lying, Martin.
I had nothing to do with an escape.
Then prove it, Joyce. Tell us why your husband should want to kidnap you.
I tell you, I don't know why.
He pulled a job, didn't he?
No.
He's been in and out of the clink for years for robbery.
So what?
Well, that's his style, isn't it? Armed robbery.
That's got nothing to do with me.
Oh, yes, it has. He pulled a big one. And this time the only mistake he made was you. Somehow you got hold of the money and started spending it.
This is bullying.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't you? I've got your charge sheet here. It reads, sentenced to 6 months for receiving stolen goods, accessory after the fact of an armed robbery. Still don't know what I'm talking about?
That doesn't mean anything.
You've got something on your husband, haven't you, Joyce?
No.
Somehow you've stashed the money away and you won't tell him where it is. So he figures he's going to spring you out of here and then bash it out of you.
No, I keep telling you I don't know anything about it. Now, just leave me alone.
That'll be all, Mr. Fletcher. Miss Bennett, take Martin back to her cell.
No, it's interrogation.
Do as I say, Miss Bennett.
She probably enjoyed that. I mean, proper interrogation. Not editor style whatsoever.
We nearly cracked her. I reckon another go in an hour's time and she'll be spilling the lot.
There's no need for that sort of technique here, Mr. Fletcher. This is a women's prison, not a concentration camp.
Is he going to keep this job? He hates the way it's run. He hates being led by women.
You've already had one visit today. Regulations say 1 a week.
Yeah, well, I thought they might be bent a little. For a friend.
They're better off without you. So go away and leave us alone.
There's no need for that sort of technique here, Mr. Fletcher. This is a women's prison, not a concentration camp.
I've said it before, if you're gonna...
Bloody noise. And the flies.
If you're gonna have some kind of flashbacks, have them from episodes ago. I mean, he can't, but...
You all right?
Mr. Fletcher?
Hmm?
Are you all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Woman's work's never done, eh?
Mm.
But he could have had flashbacks from Pentridge or something.
You should be highly commended for your handling of the Martin woman, Jim. I thoroughly agreed with your methods. You know something? I think you and I would make a great team together.
Get rid of editor, him governor, a deputy.
We've both got similar ideas on prison discipline, and the women know exactly who's in charge when you're around. Take Mrs. Davidson. She's too soft with them. Well, the women don't respect that. They see it as a sign of weakness. That's why we've got so much chaos here. What they really need is discipline. That's what they respect. You could really go places, Jim. In fact, you could be governor if you put your mind to it.
I've only 2 things to say to you, Miss Bennett. Mrs. Davidson has a very tough job here. Now, I may not always agree with her, but I think she handles the women admirably. And secondly, the methods I used on Martin this afternoon gave me no particular pleasure. I hope I never have to have a session like that in here again.
To be fair, you chose to do that. You weren't forced into it.
Oh, Charles, I see you've been keeping my seat warm. You should have joined us for lunch. The food was great.
I had too much work to do.
It's a pity. She's a lovely girl.
By my calculations, you've had a 3.5-hour lunch.
Bloody
yes,
hell.
Well, we had a lot to talk about. You know something, Charles? I almost married that girl.
Kevin's going to be left by the wayside now.
I want to dissolve the partnership.
You want to what?
I'm tired. I've had enough.
But why?
I've been carrying you for months. You haven't contributed your full share, so I've found someone else.
Come on, Charles. Look, I know we've been through a few rough patches, but business is hardly on the rocks.
If you check with our accountants, you'd find that we're steadily moving into debt.
But that's impossible. The money must be rolling, and I seem to have been overloaded with work recently.
Yes, most of it for bloody prisoners. A bunch of ragged women all seeking free legal advice, and you get caught up in it. I don't know. You used to be a whole lot smarter, Steve. You really surprise me.
How's the big romance?
What big romance?
So is he going to run away with
Steve
the posh
Wilson.
lady?
Oh, him.
Oh, him? I thought you said you'd marry him if he asked you.
Well, I changed my mind.
It wouldn't have worked anyway.
What happened? Another woman? Well, I think you should get out there and fight for him. He's worth it, isn't he?
He's very ambitious, Bea. He's on the way up.
On the way out?
Last thing he'd need round his neck is a woman who's been in prison. Well, Stavros wouldn't marry Irene because she'd been in here. In a way, I can understand both their points of view.
Ah, yeah.
Has he gone to acting school
not to
now?
worry. Plenty more where he came from.
Maybe.
You and Greg Miller had a thing going, didn't you?
Oh, that was years ago. Anyway, he's involved with Meg Jackson. Haven't you told me that often enough?
Ah, that. Just a passing fling. She's too old for him. She'll give him up, you'll see.
Age is but a number as long as it's legal age and consensual.
No, it's all over with Greg anyway, Bea.
And love is
And with
involved,
Steve.
not money.
You know, it must be tough. You're young and you're pretty, but you're in the nick. And there are all those dressed-up dolls on the outside. That bloody chance you've got.
Well, your taste in drinks has changed. Bourbon and Coke used to be the order of the day. If I remember correctly.
You do. But I'm older now and wiser.
And more stunning.
Come on, Steve. Do you want to run a halfway house?
So what do you say? Am I stunning enough to take you out to dinner?
No. Oh, it's a matter of principle. I never let a beautiful woman foot the bill. However, I will take you out to dinner.
Equality.
I see. The beautiful woman pays later. Is that the idea?
Well, that depends on the beautiful woman.
Seriously, Steve, it's my shout. You paid for lunch.
No, and I'll pay for dinner, too.
We'll go Dutch.
Like in the old days?
Remember the little spaghetti cafe?
Memories redolent of garlic, eh?
Couldn't she cook him a few meals
I
at
wonder
her
if
house
it's still there.
to make up
Yes,
for
it
it?
is.
My God, that's going back a bit. I remember when you first took me there.
Now, wait a minute. I thought you introduced me to it.
No, it was the other way round. I remember it distinctly. I'd been waiting for ages for you to ask me out, and then suddenly, I think we were having an argument about women's rights or something. Suddenly, right in the middle of it, you said, let's go eat some spaghetti. It was so romantic, I could have married you on the spot.
I wish I'd known
What?
Poor Canon.
that you'd have married me then. I was very much in love with you.
I know.
They put a lot of pressure on you, didn't they?
So I guess
That
this
formidable family of yours.
is
It wasn't only my family, Steve. There
exit
were other
storyline.
reasons.
We'd have been good together.
I know that. Now. But I was determined to have a career. You wanted me to be a housewife.
Come on. That isn't true.
Oh, it is, you know. And it would have happened anyway in time. You were the brilliant one, Steve. My career would have had to eventually give way to yours.
Yes, well, I may have been the brilliant one, but I was also working class. And your family thought that was a rather repulsive combination.
Don't put it like that, Steve.
Now, your father thought that I was a working class upstart.
He did not. That's not true.
He believed that I was using you to edge my way into his firm.
This is precisely the same argument that we had years and years ago. You still won't believe it was entirely my own decision, will you? Oh. Look, let's not quarrel,
I
Steve.
still say it's his exit storyline.
I'm sorry. It's just that I've had a rather depressing day. I didn't mean to take it out on you.
Oh, what's troubling you?
Oh, it's nothing much, I suppose. It's Baldwin. He wants to dissolve the partnership.
That's wonderful.
Oh, it is it?
I'm quite serious. You can go it alone. Well, you can do it, you know. You have the reputation now.
Yes, well, unfortunately, that isn't enough. It costs an awful lot to set up a law practice. I just don't have that sort of money.
Oh, get a partner. Someone with lots of money behind him who can lean a little on your reputation in return.
Your dad?
Yes. Well, finding someone like that, Jenny, isn't as easy as
Not
you
your
think.
dad. Her dad.
Look, no point worrying about it now. I'll tell you what. Let's go eat some spaghetti. And since you're broke and out of work, I'll pay.
See, I bet he's got quite a few million in his bank account.
Come on, you two, hurry up. Travers, your boyfriend will be here soon. He wouldn't want to see you looking like that.
Oh, now, come on, Vera. Leave her alone.
Get moving, Smith.
I'll go stick at your bed.
I heard that.
Look, Vera, you and I are going to be in here for the next 100 years, so let's get one thing straight. You are a bloody pain in the ass.
How dare you speak to me like that?
Because it's true.
You report to me immediately after breakfast.
Was that worth it?
Probably not.
Did he pick it up?
Hello. Hi. Did you go to the psych lecture?
Yeah, why weren't you there?
Working on my essay. Well, have you done yours yet?
Most of it.
I've just started mine.
It's due back on Friday.
I know, but my car engine blew up and I've spent a whole week trying to find parts for
Typical
it.
student. I used to
Could
do
you
the
get an
same thing, leave
extension
it to the
in
very last minute.
I could try, but they'll never believe a story like that. Hey, listen, there's a seminar on life in prison coming up. Would you like to go?
She can run it.
Yeah, who's giving it?
Well, someone from the prison reform group and Peter Clements. Should be good.
When's it on?
Tomorrow night. I could pick you up at your place if you like.
I've got something else on. I just remembered.
Oh, well, can't you get out of it? It'll be worth it.
Couldn't you tape it for me?
I suppose I could. But it's much better if you're there. Well, you can ask questions and meet all sorts of people. Hey, they might even bring in a couple of prisoners. That'd be great, you know, straight from the horse's mouth kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry I can't make it, Sue.
No worries. It's a good idea to record it anyway. Okay, see you later.
Bye.
How's she going to watch it? Unless she goes to the library during lunch hour?
Yes?
Maybe.
Miss Collins to see you.
Oh, good. Tell her to come in, will you? Thank you.
Tell you something, if they're getting took out to lunch again, they're going to be skint by the time he leaves.
Well, now, this is a pleasant surprise.
You don't think we're seeing too much of each other? It's just that... Well, you have finished for the day, haven't you?
Yes. Well, actually, I do have to pick up somebody from the university.
Oh, I see. Well, don't let me detain you.
Well, it's not that important. She didn't know I was coming.
Oh, so it's a woman, is it? Anyone special?
No, just a friend. Well, did you have something to say to me?
Oh, I got some great news for you. I spoke to Daddy about your partnership problems.
Oh, really? And what did Daddy have to say?
Well, he said that since you have such a solid reputation now,
Can he still do the
he'd be
shop?
prepared to take the risk.
What risk?
The risk of financing both of us in a partnership. Wilson and Collins, doesn't it sound terrific? What do you say, Steve?
Well, I'd have to think it over first.
You'd be mad to say no.
Yes, just a couple of days.
Look, let's go somewhere and have a quiet drink and discuss it.
Look, I'd love to, Jenny. But really, I do have to fly.
Oh, forget the friend. She can take a bus. Business must come first.
Would she
That's
take a
rule
bus?
number one.
Tell me something. Do you intend this to be purely a business relationship? Or did you have something else in mind?
Why? Whatever do you mean, Steve Wilson? What else but business could it possibly be?
Hey, do you remember what it was about Fletch that was a bit odd?
No, I wish I did. Tried real hard to think what it was after he did me over, but now for the life of me, I can't remember.
It wasn't something the old man had on him at Pentridge?
Yeah, something real juicy the fellas found out about. Gave him a real hard time about something.
Yeah.
Maybe he's...
Oh, come off it. Fletch is all man.
Yeah, well, the bits we can see are. We don't know about the rest, though.
Hey, maybe he killed someone. Yeah, you know, I reckon he'd be capable of killing.
Oh, that's a load of bull. Fletch is all talk and bluff, nothing more.
He's got real mean eyes. You have a look at him up close one day.
I'm not
you'll see what
bleeping it, I'm
talking
going to
about.
test.
Yeah, well, if you remember what it is, give us a yell. We might be able to use it.
People normally
Hey,
have turned off by now anyway.
Would you do me a favour?
Depends what it is.
Well, I've been thinking about what you and B said about the money, you know, about having to hide it real good.
Yeah?
My old man's a real demon, you know,
Mind
he
you,
can
I
smell
better
money
for
a
hate
mile off.
speech.
So?
So, I don't reckon I've hit it too good.
What do you want me to do about it?
You'll be getting out of here soon, won't you? Well, if I give you a piece of the action, do you reckon you could move it to a safer spot?
It's going to be straight back in. Don't do it, Money. I swear to God, if she says yes to this, it's probably the silliest thing she's done, and that includes bashing Fred up. She may as well just hand it to Fred and say, here you go, have fun. Doreen's got to get some comeuppance for what she did. They can't just sit back and let her get away with it. I mean, she's basically tried to scup at another lady's chances of getting out. That'd be quite serious, especially setting up, and she got drugs, babe. She got drugs. But I can see why this one's a PG. You know, we haven't really got the action, like this disc that is, we haven't really got the action that we've had through the last 41 episodes previously. I mean, I think this is the first PG disc we've got. So it'll be a good test to see how all the PGs go from now on, I suppose. I'm still looking for some further collections. I've got a lot of the earlier ones up to volume 9, I think. Then I'm missing some scattered about, so I'm still trying to find those. Sign out. So, yes, I am guessing that, like I said in the episode, this is Steve's exit storyline. He's going to go, he's going to break Kevin's heart. Is Greg going to break Meg's heart and him and Kevin get off together? It's taken a while for Money. Hold on, how long did Lynn have left? I can't remember how long Lynn had left. But it's taken a while for him to get out. I mean, they must have had a 4-week skip during that first lot of booze. Must have done. Unless they've got a miracle booze making machine, I don't know. But yeah, we must have skipped some time there. Money must only have a week left, tops. Days even. So she's got to be getting out soon as well. How long will we say Kevin's got? She's got a year, she's got 12 months. Is that including parole, or has she got parole 6 months before then? I mean, she'll be out soon as well. I still say everyone who comes in from now on, I'm going to be having my eye on them because they're in to get, is it Joyce Martin? Is it? I think it's Martin. I can't remember if her first name's Joyce. But Eileen from Home and Away. Yeah, I am really thinking someone's going to be sent in for her. I honestly am. They're not going to leave it at that. I don't know when. It's got 6 months, maybe 12 episodes, 15, 16 episodes from now. But yes, I'm still enjoying it even though it's dropped down to a PG. If we're getting rid of Steve, someone else, unless Steve's leaving to make way for Fletcher's storylines, maybe. I don't know, I'm going to say we need someone else in to take his gaps up in storylines, but you don't need to. We've got Fletcher now. But I'm still enjoying it. It should be 2 weeks now. Yep, it should definitely be every 2 days now, a week. So I hope you're enjoying it too. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it on the Saturdays. I might change it to a weekday again at some point, but it will not drop below 2, I promise you that. So if you haven't subscribed to me or followed so far and you did enjoy it, can I please ask you to do so? It would really help me out. You can only watch this on Dailymotion if you're in Australia, and I'm afraid it is blocked to you on YouTube. So that's the only place you can get it, or Patreon, but it's the only free place you can get it. Also, if you have, thank you ever so much. I really do appreciate you. You're helping me out, you're helping the channel out, you're helping my mental health out. You honestly are. And to my Patreon members, you'll get exclusive access to 8 shows per month right now. They'll be on screen as what shows they are. Going up to 12 per month sometime later this year. As well as ad-free and uncensored shows as well. So no bleeps, no blurs. I wasn't going to bleep that, what she said, but what B said, but hate speech, I'm going to have to. I know someone has said in the past that it's meant different in those days. You know, I do know it meant strange, but these days and those days don't count anymore. It's all about these days. But yes, it is you that is bringing the content to me to allow me to bring the content straight back to you. Thank you all ever so much. I love you lots no matter what tier you are. So with that, I shall sign out now, move on to the next one, and hope to see you there. Goodbye.